Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. Stream's looking pretty terrible, to be honest. So
Look, you could stream. I mean, you
I'm
could
gonna
stream it, and I
stream
could
it
cast it
for
if you want.
everyone. Yeah, I'm
Alright.
just gonna mute myself after we get this going. No, but none of it's fitting right now. We'll try to fix that. Are we good to go?
Yep. You could start streaming. So I'm just gonna have push to talk, or should I just have my mic on the whole time?
Just have your mic on the whole time.
Alright.
Need to get this code.
Is the stream going right? Okay, yeah, it just started.
Is it?
Yeah, it just went live.
Need to fit it.
Alright, so Champ Select started. Man is trying to fix the overlay right now. The first ban is Talon. Sifu Calvin's team banned the Talon. Good assassin on Dominion. The next ban, the Lulu, so they decided to take away the Lulu from Warwick's. He did good with it 2 games in a row. They don't want to deal with it, especially since he provides good help or support to pretty much every champion of Sifu Calvin plays. Who's the next? Probably Jarvan or Fizz or Zyra. Zyra's an excellent champion. So there's the Leona. Good AoE tank. Scales well into the late game. Good team fighting. Sifu Calvin's team just doesn't want to deal with that. Zyra is probably going to be the next ban. Maokai, okay. So the Maokai gets taken out. Those are the top 2 tanks at the moment. Braum has not been panning out for teams that have chosen him. The Braum gets banned out anyway. There's a lot of OPs open still. There's Yasuo, there's Brand, Zyra, Fizz, Jarvan, Wukong. There's a lot of picks open right now. Who is going to be the last ban? Maybe Jarvan, maybe Wukong. Okay, so it is the Zyra. Zyra gets banned out. There's still AoE, there's still Karma, there's still Cassio. Who is going to be the first pick? The Wukong. So Sifu Calvin decides to take that Wukong again. Probably going to see another Karma. This Karma works really well with the Wukong. Or Brand. For their mage, I'm going to expect to see either Karma or Brand. Jarvan, however, is still up. He's a really solid choice. Fits into almost every comp. And he can be built either Glass or Bruiser. Has that AoE shred on his Q. There's the Pantheon and the Karma. So I'm thinking Sifu Calvin's team is gonna pick up the brand for their mage since Karma got taken. So there's a Jarvan, like I thought. They're gonna take Jarvan and their mage. I'm expecting a brand here. They need a tank though still. For tanks, there's Alistar and Amumu still up. Oh, Woix takes that Sona. I've seen him play Sona before. Usually plays it pretty well. He might be going tanky CDR Sona with Iceborne Gauntlet. And I don't know if he gets Blackfire Torch or he gets something like Spirit Visage for the CDR and the tank stats. But right now, Sifu Calvin's team doesn't have a lot of poke. All their poke is really Sona's Q. And Generic picks up the Janna. Really good support, good for disengaging. That's probably Wukong's hardest counter. He depends on going in with his E and then ulting. But if you have a Janna, she could just hit her ult and just knock him away, negating a lot of his damage. And Zac, is this real? I don't know, I wouldn't take Zac as a tank. Or Aatrox. Is that... Okay, so it's the cow. So they decided to go with the cow for their tank. Really beefy. He just got a buff where they changed his ult damage reduction. It used to be 50, 60, 70% scaling at level 6, 11, and 16 respectively to 70% at all ranks. So he's immediately more tanky now as soon as he gets his ult. On the other side though, they picked up the Yasuo again. They got 2 knockouts with the Jarvan and the Wukong and the Ezreal. So I'm assuming they're going to do the exact same thing they did last game. They're going to send People's bot. People's might feed, but it doesn't matter if his team gets a lead top. Then he'll just do what Wolferer does and take control, push the bot lane out, go in Fog of War, and then rotate up to his team. And if they win the team fight, then they're fine, because then they could cap whatever turrets they want. But they do have poke now with that Ezreal. When they picked up the Ezreal, now their poke is Sona and Ezreal, so they can stop the points for Windmill. And this is actually a more even Windmill fight. Corvell picks up the Jax for bot lane. And that Jax is definitely beats Yasuo. Scales way better, but he's probably going to get ganked a lot if Sifu Calvin's team gets an advantage like last game. But I don't think it's going to be the same as last game. Janna Pantheon is really good combo. It really abuses that shield. That Janna shield really abuses Pantheon's early game. So all they need is the cow to go in, try and knock up at least 2 people, and then the Janna drops the shield on the Pantheon, plus the Karma AoE, and it should be a shitload of AoE damage. So this should be an interesting windmill fight. There's pretty good early game champions on both sides. On the blue team, Sifu Calvin's team, you got the Wukong, who's pretty good early game. Sona is decent early game if she has her passive proc on the Q, the power core damage. Ezreal is fairly decent just because he can poke them and keep stopping the cap fairly often. Jarvan's pretty decent damage early game as well. On the other side, you got Pantheon monster early game. Karma's mantra Q, if she lands a good one, is really good. Cal just has to CC. He just has to stop the engage of Jarvan and Wukong, really. And if he can do that, then purple team probably has the advantage. This is a very risky comp, though. I will say that for Sifu Calvin's team. They're really relying on winning the top because people's on Yasuo, he's gonna get crushed bot lane by Jax. Especially if you look at their summer spells. Jax is running double offensive. He already has an advantage in the lane. As soon as Jax hits 6, he should start destroying Yasuo. So if Sifu Calvin's team doesn't get a lead after the windmill fight and start controlling the game, Peoples is really gonna start losing bot really hard. He's gonna need someone to camp bot, probably the Jarvan or the Wukong. So the game's about to start soon, 50 seconds. Interesting choice on Ezreal. He's taking that clairvoyance on Ezreal. Normally on AD carries, you want to take heal or exhaust. Maybe even ignite just to help against people that are diving you, help your damage output a little bit, but normally you want mobility spells. I guess he doesn't want to face check anything, so he's going to be using that clairvoyance often after the 3 cap happens and they're running around jungle trying to look for fights. Okay, so the load is about to happen. It's interesting to think about what this Sona is going to build. I've seen Warwick's Sona before. He builds her tanky with auras. I don't know how much auras he's going to get, but I've seen him get Iceborne on it and it's pretty good. He does need to get 40% CDR. I don't know how he's going to do it while being tanky though. I mean, Iceborne's only 10% CDR. He'll get 5% CDR if he takes the Masteries. I don't know if he did. And then he can get another 20% on Athene's if he decides to go that route, or pick up the Morellonomicon for 20%. Try and help with that cow healing, the Janna healing as well. But that'll make him squishy because Sona has very low base health. Alright, so we're here in the loading screen just waiting. And the summoner spells. I discussed that before, but once again, Generic's team is... They did fix their problem from last game. They chose a comp that was not very good at team fighting and tried to compensate for that. They took more offensive summoner spells, but it didn't pan out. The difference in comp didn't really help them too much. They were losing all the team fights, and the summoner spells have pretty long cooldown, usually about 3 minutes or so. So this should be a closer game. Judging by the summoner spells and the team comps, the damage is pretty even. And Generic's team has more offensive, so they might have a chance at winning this windmill fight. We'll see. Okay, so we're in game. Let's see the items. So for bot lane, it is the Jax, like we thought. On the other side is going to be Peoples on the Yasuo. Pretty sure. So I'll just try and organize this. Supports, well, support. Kind of tanky. Carries. Alright, so it's about to start. 50 seconds. Starts at 120, so about 20 seconds is going to start off. So they're going to want to send Alistar to cap the mid. Alistar, Pantheon. I would probably send Pantheon just because he can come in and clean up after the first fight. but that will severely limit their damage top. So it's probably a better idea to send Alistar there, capture, and then he comes up. So it is, yeah, so people did end up going bot versus the Jax. On the other side, they sent Jarvan and Cap, and Sona, Wukong, Ezreal are going off top. So they did send the Pantheon. They need to try and not engage. Sifu Calvin's team's gonna look to engage probably. Oh, Sifu Calvin tries to go in. Generic lands a nice tornado, knocks him up, doesn't do any damage. So right now it's a standstill. Oh, Practice Yellow uses the Mantra Q, but only on Sona, who can just heal up. So they need to make the Alistar's team, the purple team, needs to make an engage happen because Sona's healing. If they just wait around like this, they're gonna lose. Wukong goes in, no namer takes decent amount of damage. Gets exhausted, has to flash away. Generic lands a nice knockup. Oh, okay. Sifu Calvin actually does a nice juke. He stands still after he got exhausted and they thought he cloned. Ezreal goes down. Generic just 1v1 the Ezreal. Afro Dynasty's just backing off. And they end up losing the team fight. So now they're going back. Good. Okay, so this time they didn't use their summoner spells or their revive right away, so because there's nothing they could have done even if they did do the revive. In bot lane, Peoples is actually beating the Jax. The only time Yasuo has an advantage is pre-6, so it looks like Peoples did a good job exploiting that. He's actually going to get a neutral bot. On the other side though, Jarvan picked up the Storm Shield. There's 4 people bought right now, 5 people bought. So Jax is going to get this back. He needs to back right now. So Sifu Calvin and Peoples, they end up going back, start buying some items. Peoples, it looks like he's going for an early static shift. Good item for Yasuo. Wukong is building that Trinity. He's got the Phage. Probably going to get the Ghost Blade next and then turn that into Trinity. They're running around right now. Ezreal's got the wave, a big wave pushing. He's really near his team right now. They don't know where the enemy team is right now, so they're being careful. And it looks like a double back cap. Ezreal's back capping the enemy's mid and Janna's back capping their mid. In bot lane, oh, People's just 1v1 the Jax. Okay, let's see what happened. The Corval goes in, he's tanking 400 minions. He gets exhausted, he's still tanking minions. Okay, so that's why he lost. He hopped on People's when there was a full minion wave aggroing him for like 5 seconds. So Ezreal ended up capping the mid, Generic on Janna ended up capping that mid. And then top lane, oh, the Karma's forced to flash after Jarvan ulted and Wukong was there. She goes down. And nothing's happening right now, they're just running around the jungle. Generic needs to group up with his team. Janna alone can't really do much, she can only delay. Oh, Generic overextends, forced to use his ult there, he would have gone down. No namer on Pantheon, he's trying to cap their mid, the Cow's there to back them up, Janna groups up with her team, she's trying to force them off. Corval and the Jax push the wave and then he backed. People's has a lot of wave clear right now because he finished the static shift, no not yet, but he still has crits so his wave clear is pretty decent. Wukong, Sifu Calvin on the Wukong got their mid back. They finally, Practice Yellow, the purple team, they finally got their mid lane back. Generic on Janna ends up going down. Practice Yellow on the Karma. He lands a nice Mantra Q. He tries to land the stun on, or the root onto the Sona. Nothing happens. Oh, Sifu Calvin goes in with the Wukong ult. Jarvan's there. And Ezreal, oh, Janna's going to be able to escape this. Alistar goes in, lands a knockup onto 2 of them. But they don't have the damage right now. Yeah, so they really need Ezreal. or they need Pantheon, I mean, sorry, Ezreal's on the enemy team. They need Pantheon for the damage. If he goes down, their damage really lacking. So Jarvan gets caught out here. Ezreal lands an ult onto Karma plus Alistar, gets them both pretty low. Sona's just healing. So it looks like the first item Sona's gonna go for, or Warwick's on Sona, he's probably gonna get a Fiends or Morelos. He needs mana regen on Sona if he's gonna run around doing the healing thing. Bot lane, so no namer on the Pantheon, he's running around bot. Got the speed boost. He's going to group up with the Alistar and the Janna. Sifu Calvin and the Wukong getting that Storm Shield. And it looks like they switched out. Oh, okay, so the Jax died again. I don't know if he got ganked or not. Practice Yellow just covering bot. He needs to be careful right now. He needs to tab. Oh, he's in trouble right now. Sifu Calvin uses that exhaust. Oh, Practice Yellow outruns the Jarvan plus the Wukong. I don't know if it was worth it. So they ended up diving. Jax goes down. Generic's still alive. Oh my god, Sifu Calvin gets the kill onto Generic. Tower dived him. Peoples is still alive. Let's see if he can get this neutral. Nope, Jax ends up reviving. He needs to recall right now. But the Jarvan's coming down here. So he's just wasting Jax's time, so he's not letting him wave clear like this. If he doesn't do something, it's gonna neutral. Meanwhile, top lane, Sifu just killed the Pantheon, and meanwhile Warwick's is capping. So it looks like he's getting Twin Shadows by the looks of it. Twin Shadows and probably a Sheen. In bot lane. Oh my god. What was that damage? Look at this damage. Ezreal hits his ult plus a Q, arcane shift, and auto attack onto the Jack, kills him. And Karma's here versus Ezreal and Yasuo. Yasuo's pretty low. Looks like they're not gonna go for it. Ezreal's backing off. No, he just went to go get the speed boost. Practice Yellow needs to be careful here. Ezreal's just gonna keep trying to poke as much as he can. Oh, that's an AP Ezreal. I just noticed that's AP Ezreal. But on the top side, there's a big wave pushing. Sifu Calvin's pushing it even harder. Bot lane got neutraled. Big team fight going down. Brown Bruiser goes in on the Jarvan. Doesn't knock up anyone. Oh, sets up a nice Yasuo ult. Janna ults away. That cow is really tanky. He gets exhausted by Peoples. Is he going to be able to kill him? No. Peoples gets the kill there. And Jarvan goes down from the Pantheon coming down. But Yasuo, or Peoples, manages to get away. Is he going to get this recall? Yes. So Sifu Calvin's there. They don't know he's there. In the meantime, they're getting their mid back. Karma recaptured the mid. But right now, Sifu Calvin's team has full control right now of the jungle. 459 to 223. Okay, so it looks like Warwick's decided to, instead of Twin Shadows, he decided to go straight Lich Bane. So he's going for a more of a bursty Sona. I think he's gonna get a mana item. Well, he does have the Sheen component of the Sheen, or of the Lich Bane, so he does have some mana there, but he has no mana regen. Oh, Warwick gets too close. He goes down. Sifu Calvin drops his ult. He has to back off because he's really low. Brown Bruiser's left alone. He lands the knockup for Peoples to land his ult. Peoples melts the Karma. Can Pantheon get this kill? Yeah, so Pantheon gets the kill. But they need to back up. They're really low. That Ezreal has no mana. AP Ezreal with no mana. It's just like, he can't really do anything. The cow lands the knockup, grabs the health pack, and the Janna, generic on the Janna, plus Afro on the Alistar, take him out. But in the meantime, bot lane, Warwick's forced to flash. He neutraled the bot. Generic rotates down bot, slows down the Warwick's. Warwick's lands a nice ult. Doesn't really do that much damage. Oh, okay. Let's see how this Jax does now. Okay, so Jax got exhausted and then he got knocked up. Pretty much an outplay. Let's see if the cow can hold this. Here we go. But in the meantime, while the cow's trying to hold, he doesn't hold. Yasuo just takes him out. Generic lands a tornado, kills Peoples. But Sifu Calvin, while that was going on, he was backcapping. He neutraled their mid again. So right now they have no points. They just recaptured their bot. Well, I don't think it actually got neutraled. Jax is not going to be able to capture this while Ezreal's there. Okay, now he should just, yeah, he should just go straight for that. Sifu Calvin drops the exhaust onto Janna. He ults. Janna drops her ult. Sona's dancing around in the background. Ezreal is really far out of position. Can he get a kill? He's forced to flash plus arcane shift away. Jax jumps on him. He ends up going down. Corvelt starts tower diving. And oh my god, that damage. So Jax is starting to scale right now. They are losing pretty hard. It looks like in the bot lane they had Cow. Yeah, so bot lane they had Cow, but Jarvan ganked them with the Yasuo ult and they killed them. Jarvan drops the exhaust, Yasuo ends up going down, and they're going to be able to get their bot back. But look again, while all this is going on, Sifu Calvin's pushing the wave. So they're responding right now. They sent Generic up top. He's really fast on the Janna. He's got that Twin Shadows. Ezreal, AP Ezreal's running around. He's probably going to group up with his team here. So they're really struggling right now. 430 to 45. Sifu Calvin's team just has a lot of control on the map. Oh man. So Jarvan walks into No Namer in practice yellow and just melts. But on the top, the cow ended up going down to the Wukong and the Ezreal. Oh, Sifu Calvin flash ults and he goes down to the laser. Warwick's dodges point blank Karma Q there. Gets hit by that one. He's not really that tanky. It looks like he's getting Wooglets next. On the other side, people survive something. Jax died again. He got ganked. Oh, Pantheon just revived, and he just instantly dies to Wukong plus Jarvan. On the flip side, the cow is capturing top. He's gonna be able to. No, he's not gonna be able to get the neutral. Ezreal's gonna. Maybe he might. He needs to hold this. So he just barely got the neutral. Warwick's just ended up getting there. And that's the end of the game.